those banging beats. This is a pretty sick song. All right, looks like I finally got it figured out. It's not possible to stream this on XSplit, so had to plug my computer into my Elgato, which is, I don't know how that works, but yeah, let's play some Asagao Academy. What we got? We got a lot of people apparently. All right, yeah. Let's get this party on the road! Chapter 1. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna call her Hannah. If that triggers you, you better get out now, because H-A-N-A is coming out as Hannah, not Hana. Alright. The train made its way along the gentle curve of the coast of Japan, whisking me and my father away from home. Across from me sat a boy, face half buried in a newspaper. He was deeply entranced by whatever article he was reading, and hadn't spoken a single word to me, even when I asked if I could join him in the last compartment with any space available. Oh, also, thing is worth noting, I can't read. I cannot read well. I am going to mess up the, words horribly. Alright, he shrugged, nodded, and adjusted his newspaper without ever making eye contact. It had been almost an hour. In fact, he hadn't looked at me once. Devoid of any conversation, I took instead to counting the buttons on the pretentiously lush carmine seats. I don't see any buttons. 1, 2, 3, 21, 22, and so forth, over and over. Now and again, I turned to look out the window where the trees were blurring by. Sometimes smeared green would break and reveal a quiet blue sea of Japan. And I turned to look out the window. Shut up! The trees were. Eventually, this rapidly made my stomach churn, and I went back to counting the buttons on the seat cushions. 1, 2, 3. The train compartment shuddered around us. My eyes wandered to the boy in his jacket. It wasn't the school-issued blue that I had seen the other students on the train were wearing. Instead, it was green, varsity-like jacket, with an embroidered patch poorly sewn on the front. Is that Bro Jared? So, you're a first year then? He folded his newspaper neatly, set it in his lap, and looked at me with a half-interested gaze. Did he just catch me staring? Well, how could you not stare? I mean, look at him. He's Bro Jared. Now that the paper was gone, I saw his face. He watched me through his heavy-lidded eyes. His hair was immaculately groomed, his teeth straight, and blindingly bright. There was something about him, the way the light hit him, that made him look like he was almost sparkling? Me? Feel this is what we like to watch paint dry? Is there something wrong with my stream? Looks like everything's fine. He glanced around the compartment, empty beside us, and laughed. Oh. No, I'm not a first year. I'm a third year. The train began to slow, metal wheels grinding against the metal tracks. The sudden shift threatened to rob me of whatever I had left in my stomach, but I closed my eyes, took a deep breath, willing myself to keep it together. What kind of impression would I leave, puking on a student before I even arrived at the academy? The boy frowned. I picked at the hem of my cotton skirt. That's not possible. I've never seen you before. It took me a moment of mouth fishing to find my response. It's because I'm a transfer student? Question mark? This is a very odd game. This is the finest game ever. Hey, Mumble Croissant. You don't know how to feel about this. About Pro Jared? There's only one way to feel. Attracted. Maybe one day Chet will be in normal boots. Probably not. He laughed again. A transfer student, huh? We don't get many of those. I removed my acceptance letter from the pocket of my uniform. The paper, heavyweight, off-white, had accumulated creases from my reading and rereading, as if the world might have changed since the last time I read it. The boy took it from me, studied it, and handed it back to me.
I'll see you around.
Well then, Hannah. Hannah! No, I said I was gonna read this wrong! I suppose I'll be seeing you around. He smiled at me as he picked at his suitcase lying next to him. By the time I hiccuped up a response, he was already gone from the compartment. The Jacques route? We all wish we could have Bro Jared's hair. I stared out into the empty hallway of the train. It was then that I realized he hadn't gotten it from my acceptance letter. He knew my name and I never got his. It's Jared Kuhn. The train settled at the station and I filed out with the rest of the uniformed students. It was early in April. The last frost of the winter had come and gone. The trees were already green. Oh, great, I'm playing this in April. Perfect. Already green, their leaves shivering in the occasional gusts, weaving through them. The air was mild, only a few clouds hanging in the sky. Hey, Mickey! I walked along the road. The swarm of my blue bodies hit the little breaking off from the crowd. Everyone was buzzing so animatedly around me. I held my suitcase tight in my sweating hands. It was a leather bound and worth more than anything it contained. It wasn't far to the school, and I was, for maybe the first time in my life, thankful that I didn't own too much. My school issued black Oxfords. Click, click, click down the pavement. Date Jontron, that's the only way to get the 100% true end? I thought that Satch Bags was the true ending. Pixel? Doing stuff by daylight is the one named Pixel Ferret. I don't think that. Who knows? Whatever. I'm moving along. I walked this walk over and over in my mind. So many nights I lay awake imagining what it would be like to walk from the train station to Asagao Academy. This first time. My new start. I'm always imagining that everything would change for me on this walk. That somehow everything would be magically different. But as I looked around, I realized that nothing had changed. I hadn't changed. By the time I reached the massive gate to the academy, I forgot all about the disappointment slouching in the back of my throat. The school, framed by the gate's twisting black metal, was just as beautiful as the glossy photos I had saw in the pamphlets. This was it. Asagao Academy. I glanced around. The swarm of students gathered around the gate. Beyond it, tiny blue people bounced around the academy's main building. A girl pressed a button to one of the side gates. Excitement was in the air. It was almost palpable. A few moments later, the black gate, with great effort, creaked outwards and cleared the pathway. As the rest of the group shifted in motion, I followed along, a sheep in the herd to the slaughter. My stomach tied itself into knots. The crowd split off in different directions. For a moment, I panicked. A tired-looking man with graying hair called out for the first years. A cluster of fresh-faced students gathering around him. Hey, look at that girl! I turned a few feet away from me as small boys were pointing at me and snickering. Wow, already. pink hair?
Pink hair, are you kidding me?
How desperate can you get? Hot shame crawled down my neck. I attached myself to a group of girls, following a few steps behind them. In the distance, cicadas. Good cicada noise, right? Hummed in time, my shoes crunching against the gravel. My hair. It hadn't been my fault that my hair looked like this. Luckily, I found myself at the girls' dormitory, a large sign in the lawn reading, Primrose House. The building had dwarfed me in size and sheer intimidation. Well, that's how it is, Hannah. A person isn't the size of a building. Buildings are usually bigger. I'm not dating your boy Shane. Don't worry, George Sanchez. I'm going after Jared Coon, 'cause he's so cute. The building ornament intimidation. How many students did Asagao have? As I approached the building, a red-headed girl lingering nearby caught my attention. What's her name? I know she says, Hannah. I looked away, then I looked back. She was staring at me. Are we gonna have a problem here?
Oh, you must be my roommate!
There, I don't even gotta read it. She did it for me. I eyed her warily. She was smiling and bouncing in a way that suggested her views on life were akin to a perpetual bouncy castle.
What?
Me?
Bingo.
Of course, you silly. Let me guess. Room 325. I thought back to a paper I received a month prior with all the lists of supplies that I needed and needed for the year and my dorm arrangements. Yeah, that's right. She laughed, but I couldn't figure out what was so funny. What, was she laughing at me? When I found my roommate was a transfer student, I knew you were going to be a total main character. I'm sorry? A what?
Mm-hmm.
When I saw you outside the gate, I knew it was you. I mean, look at that hair. I felt a lump forming in my throat. What was she talking about? She had to be making fun of me. I hadn't spent more than 5 minutes on campus, and I was already being mocked. Not by her, it was the other boys that were doing it. She's cool. My hands began to tremble. Is there something wrong with my hair? Her face slackened from its amused smile into a more worried expression. Then she began to laugh again. No, it's great. I'm sorry.
We're getting off on the wrong foot, aren't we? Oh gosh.
Oh gosh, wait, where's the oh gosh, I've been lied to.
I'm Mai Sasaki. You must be Hana.
Ah, Mai, okay. I'm gonna call her May, just because I like pronouncing these words obnoxiously. I bowed my head.
Hello.
It's nice to meet you, May. All your school books are waiting in our room with your welcome letter, and I read the envelope. I hope you're not mad. May stared at me, walking towards the dorm's front doors. I followed behind like a lost puppy. Did you check in at the front desk already? No, I didn't. I didn't know I was supposed to. Good. They'll offer to have a staff member give you a tour of the campus, but I can show you around. We don't get many transfer students in the year. In year 3, you know. I'm not going down JonTron's route. Have you guys seen Bro Jared? Have you seen him? If not, well, I guess you missed him. Scroll back in the stream. There he is. There's a reason. Oh, is that your only bag? Just the one? I'm glad I brought an extra bag of stuff to decorate the room with. I started already. I hope you don't mind. But I did want to wait to string the lights. I thought we could do it together, you know? She spoke so quickly, the words bubbling from her mouth. and left me no time to answer until the end of her monologue.
Yeah, that's okay. That sounds good.
She held the front door open for me, and I hurried inside. Girls filed up and down the hallway, greeting and exchanging vague niceties that were, more often than not,
How was your break? And look how tan you got.
is Katniss here? Or Katrina's? Well, I've seen it. No, just people telling me to get JonTron. Ain't happening. Oh, Katrina's was one of the people that told me to get JonTron. I just ignored everyone and was giving me worthless information. It seemed like everyone knew each other. I followed May as she led me through the maze of students, up 2 flights of stairs. Each dorm floor looked like the same as the last. Narrow, white doors lining both sides of the pale pink walls. Thin gold numbers were tucked into the front of each. The numbers rising as we climbed. You're not missing anything with the campus tour. I promise. Mr. Saitamo does them every year. He's like totally dull. He just drags around the entire campus and talks in that weird squeaky voice of his. I'll tell you everything you need to know. I smiled, trying to let this calm my nerves.
Thanks.
We headed down the hallway on the 3rd floor. Mai stopped right in front of the door, numbered 325. Here we are. A faint smell of potpourri wafted through the room. The walls, like the hallway, were a soft, powdery pink. May already defaced them with a tapestry of posters, magazines, cutouts, and photographs. Sometimes the photos were of cats, but most of them were of male models and rugged musicians. A bunk bed with 2 writing desks, a wooden chair, and a small dresser and a mirrored vanity, all clearly provided by the school, were the only pieces of furniture in a tiny room. The top bunk was already covered in a neatly tucked blankets and a throw pillows of clashing patterns and colors. The bottom bunk had a single, stiff-looking pillow and a thin cotton blanket that I didn't need to touch to know were horribly itchy. I must have grimaced because Mai quickly smiled at me. I brought too many pillows and blankets. I always overpack. I went to Italy over the break and my mom got really mad at me because I brought 5 bags, but we were only there for a week. She laughed, pulled several blankets and pillows from her bunk and rearranged them neatly on mine. Aw, you're a pal, May. A sudden twinge of guilt and embarrassment hit me.
Perfection.
There, much better. If you make another gosh dang Cat Icarus reference, I'm gonna ask every single moderator here to ban you. In fact, I'll promote everybody to moderator just to get rid of you. That's much better.
Thanks, Mai.
I placed my suitcases on the bottom bunk and began to unpack its contents. Several changes of clothing and pens and pencils, empty notebooks, and a few photographs of my father. A dilapidated stuffed rabbit. Oh, is it that one that her arm is blinking? An old portable radio and a small black box. May opened the curtains and sunlight poured in. So, where are you from? I slid the now empty suitcase under my bottom bunk. About 2 hours north of here. It's a small town called Emaramatsu. You probably haven't heard of it. I set the stuffed rabbit, Mr. Bunny, on my bedside, a purple and teal throw pillow. Oh, did you go to a different boarding school, or?
No, I went to a public school down the street from my house.
Really?
Public school? What was that like? Were the students, like, mean? Did you have a lot of friends? I always went to private schools. My parents work a lot, and my dad goes overseas. I think they stuck me here for convenience. Oh, hey, what's that?
I'd removed an ornately patterned origami crane from the black box, and I was setting it on the unclaimed writing desk.
Oh, this? My mother made it for me a long time ago.
I set up aside a stack of thick textbooks, which I assumed were provided for me.
Aww.
Wow, it's so pretty. I've never seen paper like that before.
Origami! Hana's the origami killer! It's confirmed!
Oh yeah, the lights. Let me get them.
Apparently they're already set up. Mai went to her own desk, opened the drawer, and pulled out a long, tangled string of fairy lights.
I thought these would look nice in here. Help me string them up.
She grabbed a container of push pins, and then, it's April, it ain't Christmas, why are we putting up lights? But I did the same with my own. Together we pinned the lights around the perimeter of the room, or just this one section.
How was the train ride over? Did you meet anyone?
You bet I did. No, well, not really. I was in an apartment with some guy in.
What?
Some guy?
Was he cute? You bet your bottom dollar!
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention. I didn't even get his name.
It's a typical Cinderella. Mai seemed disappointed for a moment, and then perked back up.
You'll have to point him out to me if you see him again.
Oh, okay. Once we finished stringing the lights, May climbed down from her chair and brushed her hands together triumphantly.
Yeah!
Done! Okay, now it's time for lunch. The food here is pretty good. There's this ramen place down the street from the campus. It's like out of this world. But the school only lets us leave the campus on weekends.
May walked to the window.
We could go out today because it's Sunday and it's pretty nice out. But I guess you want to go to the calf. Since you only just got here, we could. She was suddenly interrupted by her own enthusiastic, maniac laughter. Oh my gosh, Mimi Santos totally just tripped outside and fell on her face. I saw it.
Oh man, that reminds me. If you watch the Game Theory, that stupid global 360 thing that they've got, I watched it facing directly away from Matt Pat and the tour guide, and there is some kid who runs up to his buddies and he just slams right down. What is going on? Talks of illegality in the all of you do not realize the best girl, JonTron. Or no. I'm sorry, Pro Jared. That's what you think, Katrina. But it's Pro J.
Oh, is it mean to laugh? Maybe I shouldn't have. Oh, well, let's go eat. I'm totally starved.
She led me out of the room before I even had a chance to respond. The cafeteria was buzzing with students, excited for the new year. The only people as nervous looking as I felt were the tables of skittish, wide-eyed first years. I stepped in the line behind May, taking an empty plastic tray. We shuffled through, asking for helpings from the sulky cafeteria workers when we passed through something that looked good. With full trays, May led me straight to the table in the back, with a few students who were already sitting. May sat down and took a look. I took the seat across from her. Waluigi is best girl. That's true, but there's no Waluigi in this game. Isn't JonTron a Nazi though, Absol Knight? I heard somewhere from a very unreliable source. Are you kidding me? The best part about the Jared route is you probably get to make May sad. And isn't that just the best?
Hi, May. How was your break? It was good. We went to Italy and Spain. Dad fell off a jet ski and broke his ankle.
Uh-huh.
It's better now, though. Oh. Well, that's nice. I expected to be introduced, but the girl turned back to her group of friends, and May turned back to me. She began to assault her food with a fork and tell me in a practically minute-by-minute account of her fleeting romance last summer with a boy she met on the beach that didn't go any further than a few salty kisses. Is Grace going? Well, it's been an honor serving with you, Grace. Yeah, Pewds is also a Nazi. Apparently, you know, there's just a whole Nazi coalition going on the YouTubes. Heck, probably all of these YouTubers, all the Normal Boots clubs, probably gonna be Nazis eventually. I sat back and let May talk for the first time since arriving on campus. I felt like I was finally able to breathe. I picked at my Brussels sprouts and studied Mai as she spoke. Okay, well, this writing is inconsistent because they said that they only asked for food that looked good from the cafeteria workers. If she got Brussels sprouts, obviously, gotta concentrate on the continuity. Asagao Academy writers. The more she talked, the more I began to notice small details about her.
Oh.
She had a high, songbird voice.
What?
She was dynamic, her face twisting in ways that into exaggerated expressions as she spoke. She laughed often. She imitated people in wildly unflattering voices, seeming unrelated to her actual opinion of them. But most notably, she talked. A lot. I didn't find this particularly annoying as it filled the silence and hardly ever asked questions that required my full attention. Just as Mai was rounding off a shockingly detailed account of the time she accidentally walked into her friend's older brother in the act of changing, a flash of familiar green caught my eye. I glanced over.
Hey, that's him!
Huh? Who? I leaned across the table to whisper, just in case he could hear me through the ambient chatter of the lunchroom.
The boy from the train! That's him!
What?
Gerard?
Yeah, with the weird green jacket and the swoopy hair.
He just picked up his tray and was walking past us when something seemed to catch his eye. Oh, you.
I looked at him, suddenly realizing that he was talking to me.
Hannah, I met you on the train. How are things settling down for you? Oh, no.
Really well. I found my roommate and she's even been helping me out.
I gestured to Mai, who was thunderstruck in fact. People stopping to turn and stare at Jared and me, my shoulders bunched around my neck. Well, if you never need any help, I'll be around. 3rd year, right? I nodded.
All right.
Some of my friends are in that year, of course. They can't compare to me, but I'll give them the heads up to look out for you. He flashed a dazzling smile, then winked. It's the least I can do for such a cute girl. Well, see you around. I watched a torrent of thoughts raging through my head as he took a seat next to a bunch of guys who were all wearing the same jacket?
That's Jared!
She tore her eyes away from him and looked at me.
So cute.
He's the most beautiful guy in school. That makes him the best. And don't I deserve the best?
Oh, Jared.
I can't believe he just looked at me.
I looked at May. Her cheeks were glowing an incandescent pink.
Why do they all wear those jackets? Aren't the guys supposed to wear the blue blazers as part of their uniform? No, they're allowed to. You know Jared?
The girl turned back around and was looking at me with sudden interest.
Did I know him? I only talked to him on the train for a few minutes, so So, technically, nah. We weren't friends or anything.
But looking around, Mai and this girl weren't the only ones who were interested. Everyone seemed to be listening in. They seemed surprised when he talked to me. Maybe a little white lie couldn't hurt.
Technically,
Nah. Yeah, nah. I gotta build up a fake rep here. The girl looked up and down at me as if she were inspecting a piece of furniture for the purchase.
I'm sorry, I didn't introduce myself earlier, did I? I'm...
Bye-bye!
Nice to meet you. So, how did you meet Jared?
No! The walls are caving in on me! I'm gonna be found out for sure!
Oh, come on, if it Mimi. Jared's not interested.
Mai and Mimi started staring at each other for a few seconds, having some sort of silent mental battle. Then Mai turned away. You date Mai? She's like the female version of Shane without any redeeming traits. She's like a tsundere without the sweet side, you know? You get what I'm saying? Continued to eat. Sorry, it was clear that she was trying to get in with you for her own agenda, so I cut her off.
Get in with me? Why? Well, you asked me about those guys in their jackets, right?
Those are the Normal Boots Club jackets.
They're... What? What's Normal Boots Club?
See, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Like, I can't block everything else out, but look at that. We got these guys. I don't watch continue. We got the completionist. We got the jerk British guy. We got a black guy. We got a pretty guy. We got a guy. We got a Nazi. We got a burb. Okay, it's an exclusive school we have here. Slightly like an exclusive and full of only the coolest students. They get to play together and play video games or something. That one right there is John, also known as JonTron. His bird is named Jacques. He's a Nazi, or so I've heard. Apparently, he went into a debate, not prepared, and apparently said some stuff he didn't believe about immigration. He got tricked, and so now he's a Nazi. John is also the president of the drama club here at school. Next to him is Papaga. He and John founded the Normal Boots Club together. Papaga is one of the best soccer players on the team. Then there's Gerard. People call him the completionist because he's obsessed with completing things. And he's got the biggest itty-bitty kitty collection I've ever seen. Next to him is Jared, also known as Pro Jared. He's the model citizen. And then there's Satchbag, but everyone calls him Satch. He's like crazy smart. The guys over there are called Nick, Paul, and Josh. They wrote a column at the newspaper called Continue? Paul, the one standing up, is the student council president. And then the one on there is Shane. He knows more about video games than anyone ever. She exhaled a dreamy sigh into her mashed potatoes. So, how would someone, join Normal Boots Club? You don't choose the boots, Hannah. The boots choose you.
What does that even mean?
You have to be presented with the boots to be in the club. And they're, like, super selective. What are the boots? This club has a boot statue. It's like the one on their patches, but it's gold-plated. It's their mascot, I guess. They do a weird initiation ritual with it.
ritual? Yeah, like a blood ritual. I hear they filled the room with candles and they wear these totally creepy robes during the initiation. This year 2 girl said that she saw it once and they were all chanting around the booths. It sounded like they were talking backwards. But I don't believe her. And even if it is true, I don't care if they're a cult because they're all really hot. Do they have a lot of friends? Yeah, tons of friends. I'd say they're the most popular kids in the whole YouTube. I mean, everyone in the school totally looks up to them. I bet they could get any girl in school, too. Or boy, for that matter. Oh, because, majority of the people playing at Asagao Academy are gonna be, male. Okay. Got that. Hey, are you gonna eat your cake? I shook my head and pushed the tray across the table to her. See, I can't relate with Hana. If you don't eat your cake, how can it? Nah, it's the worst. For the remainder of lunch, I listened to May talk about Jared through mouths full of half-dissolved frosting. Back at the dorm, I sorted through a pile of textbooks the school left for me. My radio was playing a poppy tune, equal parts music to static. May fervently scribbled in a notebook on her desk, hunched over it with strikingly poor posture. Hey, May. She didn't even bother to look up. Am I supposed to have a textbook for History 309? She shuffled through the papers on her desk before producing a thick textbooks. A demure man in a powdered wig frowned down at me from the cover. Yeah, this one. I sighed. I don't have that one. The school must have missed it. Mike shrugged and set the textbooks back in her pile. They have a bunch of them at the library. You can just check one out. I don't care if they're in a cult. Maya is the person with the best priorities. Where's the library? Maya ruffled through her notebooks and wrote something down. She tore the page out and handed me a crudely drawn map. Oh. Okay, well, I'll be back in a little bit. Don't leave your stuff with me! It took me at least 20 minutes to find the library. By the time I realized I was holding the map upside down, the sun was setting. The library was much... You can't hold a map upside down. Whatever. The walls lined from floor to the ceiling with books of all sizes of roughly wooden shelves. Intimidated, I headed for the front desk. I recognized a green and gray jacket was behind the counter. Normal boots? I briefly considered running away.
Hey.
Can I help you?
Too late.
Yeah.
You know what? I want to know why Satch is part of Normal Boots. This guy does not upload videos at all. Like, was there a quota? Did they have to have a minority? I think Pushing Up Roses would be more worthy because she, at least makes content. I'm subscribed to Satch right after playing Normal Boots for the first time. I think he's only uploaded one video since then, and it's like, hey, maybe you should. I'm sorry I haven't uploaded very much, and that's it. Wait, if you play PBG's route, you get extra Pro Jared fan service?
Which one is it?
The History 309 textbook. He stepped from behind the counter and motioned for me to follow. We dodged between aisles in a comfortable silence. He seemed friendly enough. I should say something. What was his name again? Shane? Gerard? Joan? No, it wasn't Joan.
Satch.
Satch!
Huh?
Oh, you work here?
Of course I've worked here.
Oh, of course he worked here. He chuckled, dimples appearing in his cheeks. Yeah, I'm the librarian's assistant. It's my second year, and I love it. I get to help people find books and speak to them. His eyes twinkled like a kid's on Christmas. Your book's right down here. He stopped at a row of thick, dusty books. Was this all history? And pulled out a book with a powdered wig man I saw earlier.
Thanks.
He waved his hand. It was nothing. Do you need help with anything else? I wanted to make a good impression on the Normal Boots Club, but I couldn't come up with anything.
No. Thanks.
Copacetic.
You're welcome. What the heck did you just say? Sounded like some of those cult words we were talking about. The brutal moose of Normal Boots. That is a very good point you make, George. Oh man. Now I know you're not supposed to ship real people, but I totally ship Pushing Up Roses and what's it called? And Brutal Moose. That sounds pretty good. Oh, Grace is back. Not for long, but here she is. As we headed back through the cavernous library, my unease melted away. We were talking and just being near him felt like being wrapped in a warm, soft blanket. I resisted the urge to snuggle up to him. We neared the front desk, stepping around a clump of studying books. As we passed, one of them shifted. Something white flew past my face. A thick piece of triangular paper landed at my feet. I bent over and picked it up. It was surprisingly heavy. There was a quarter inside of it. If I were just a hair slower, it would have hit me in the face. The student snickered, and I recognized that the boys who had made fun of my hair... That's assault. You can get them locked up. The ship crashed in 5 seconds. My heart dropped. I scanned my memory for anything I might have done to offend them. I came up with nothing. My hand started to shake. I hid it behind my back, trying to think of some way to defend myself.
Why did you do that?
What do you mean?
We were just messing around.
Are you suggesting we did it on purpose? Well, seeing as how you had to go through effort to make this weapon, yeah. Wait a minute. With a quarter inside, I thought this took place in Japan. Do they have quarters in Japan? I faltered. There was nothing I could do or say. I was outnumbered. They would twist my words around no matter how straightforward I was.
No, I'm sorry.
One of the boys held out his hand for the paper. You're not getting it back. I wish I were. A gentle warmth closed over my hand and took the paper from me. Satch examined the paper closely. I see what the problem is. Your aim would be better if you cut the corners before you folded it. He placed the paper on the table, and the boy looked at him in sheer awe. Be careful, though. You almost hit her, and that would have been awful. Your aim would be better if you made it this way. If you ever assault Hana again, make sure you don't miss.
My hands began to sweat as panic shifted through me, afraid of my response, but...
Geez, we're sorry. We'll be more careful next time.
Yes, it was an accident after all.
They apologized?
Thanks. I appreciate it. He gave them a wide smile and continued down the aisles. I followed closely behind, my legs weak. Bye, Cat! I streamed early so you and Otakamerd could show up, but Otakamerd didn't because he was a heartbreaker. Don't tell me they stopped because of him, simply because I was... Yeah, he's the Normal Boots. You don't disrespect Normal Boots or else you get a beat down.
I wanted to thank him, but my heart was pounding so hard, I knew my voice would shake.
We reached the front counter and he scanned the history book. My lips trembled as I willed myself to say something, anything to thank him. He tilted his head to the side. What books do you like to read?
Fiction?
He chuckled. I just finished a good book. I think it'd be right up your alley if you don't mind me saying so. He reached under the counter and pulled out a thick green book and passed it to me. A man in black stood on the front, hugging a woman in royal robes. It's long, but it's one of my favorites. It's called The Princess Betrothed.
I know things can be tough transferring to a new school. If you're ever worried, just read this. It'll transport you 100 miles away in a second. How does he know that I'm a transfer student? I don't think that was ever established.
Maybe Jared talked to him about me.
Am I 45 minutes in? Yep, 45 minutes. No, give me back. Okay. If you ever worry, just read this and it'll transport you 100 miles away in a second.
Tears stung my eyes, so I ducked my head. Thank you, Satch.
For more than just the books!
You're welcome.
Is Purple
Oh, Purple Maple Leaf! You come in and you insult me, my family, and black people? That's a hate crime. Actually, yeah, the first time I played through, I went with Satch, and I didn't think it was weak. I mean, I don't have anything to compare it to, but how dare you? Visual novels are so slow, you got that right. But this one has normal boots members, so it's pretty good. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't think I got your name.
My name is Hanami's
Mizuno! I'm a transfer student. He already knows that. Well, it's nice to meet you, Hannah. Let me know if you like your book.
I will.
That couldn't have gone better. Well, you could have got... Actually, no, it was a good thing you were assaulted by the guys, because then Satch stood up for you, and you know you got a friend. You got a friend in him.
Not only was Satch impossibly kind, but being around him felt easy, refreshing.
Yeah, hear that? Hear that? Purple Maple Leaf? It's easy and refreshing.
Like being doused in the mist of a waterfall. Oh gosh, what was I thinking? My cheeks felt hot. I left the library. 2 surprisingly heavy books under one arm. I settled into the bed, eager to get started with my new reading material, but May was sitting at her desk, carving a pencil idly into the pages of the notebook. Every few minutes, she released a long, drawn-out sigh, as the lead left her pencil whined against the paper. I lowered my book and took the bait. Is something the matter, May? She let out another dreary sigh. I just hope Jared notices me this year.
Me too! Does Jared know you like him? Of course, Jared knows every girl likes him. May whirled around in a feigned shock.
I don't like Jared.
Alright, more Jared for me then.
Oh.
I closed my book and set it aside, deciding to play along.
Well, have you at least tried talking to him? No. I mean, I have before.
Why don't you try again? She bobbed her head from side to side, considering this had never crossed her mind before.
Yeah, maybe I could do that.
Satisfied, I picked my book back up.
Have you ever had a boyfriend, Hannah?
What?
Huh? Me? No, never.
Really?
Really? Never?
Never. Did I stutter? Actually, I think I did stutter. I bet you 10,000 yen that you meet a totally cute boy here and fall in love by the end of the school year. I'll take that bet you're gonna regret, because I'm the best there's ever been. Hana, rosin up your bow and play that fiddle hard, because Hellboat breaks loose in Georgia and May deals the cards. And if you win, you get 100 yen, 10,000 yen made of gold. But if you don't, then May gets your soul. Why am I singing The Devil Went Down to Georgia? Oh, goodbye, Grace! You're crazy, girl! I buried my face back in my book, barring May from any further discussion.
Fall in love by the end of the school year. Me? If I were a betting kind of gal, I'd take that bet. You're gonna regret because I'm the best there's ever been.
I woke the next morning with what felt like a lizard in my throat. What was that song? It sounded like Fire and the Flames. On the wings of the angel, we fly before the thunderstorm. May was already up, shuffling through her book, an enigmatic grin. Hey, it's country boy! Jesus, he loves Jesus Christ. And we got Lioness? Chet, this is glorious, and you should keep it up. Oh yeah, I think I might do this for the next 3 weeks. Go through all 3 chapters, and get myself some pro-Jared meat. You bought Civilization Revolution because it looked interesting? Have you played it yet? Is it any fun? Yeah, I like that game a lot. I'm glad I was able to play it a few weeks ago. I should play it again. Actually, I should play Civilization 5. Actually, I should get back to this game. You're all watching me stream and I'm talking to the chat. Well, I mean, that's probably actually what you want me to do, is talk to the chat. But for now, we go. Oh, nice going on finishing Spelunky. I know that's pretty hard. Okay, Lizard in the Throat. May was up, shuffling through her bag with an enigmatic grin. Kind of want to go to the main menu. I think it's got to be the main menu song. We're gonna check real quick. I don't want to quit the game. I just want to. I want to go to the main menu. Let's quit the game. You sure you want to quit? Yeah. That's why I clicked the buttons that I did in that order. So do 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 do. Like a shy guy over troubled spikes. Huh. I didn't know what else all said. I was halfway through it. But if anybody deserves a deleted comment, George Sanchez is right there. Wait, George Sanchez? That's an MVP from PML streams. That's cool that he's here. I'm like, where have I seen him before? We know you have the voice, Chet.
Boots Club.
Okay. I gotta wait until it gets the chorus part. Bam! Come on, get to the chorus. I gotta know if maybe it was something that. Alright, here we go. Nah, it's gonna be to the chorus though. He made your thumbnail an icon too? Yeah, he really is the MVP of the PML. PML MVP! That's George Sanchez. Alright, here's the chorus. This is gonna be this. Come on. Alright, here it is. You know what? That probably was it. There you go. That's my guess. Alright, enigmatic grin. The first day of school.
Hannah!
The first day of pain. Hannah, you're finally awake. Her voice sliced through the air like a knife, and I winced. She was definitely a morning person. It's time for the first day of school. Aren't you excited? I can't wait to see what's gonna happen. What do you mean? Is something special happening today?
Something strange always happens on the first day of school, especially to someone like you.
She winked.
What?
Someone like me?
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean.
She smiled and started messing with a pile of papers on her desk. We are number one? Is that the song she was humming? Let me check it again. Yeah, I hear it.
If you want a lesson in trickery, this is going down in history. We are number one.
Oh crap, I went backwards. I need to go to the future. Shaking my head, I got out of bed and pulled my uniform out of my closet.
My palms sweat as I held the gold vest and blue jacket. Was it really possible for things to be different here than they were back home? What if the problem wasn't actually the school? I shook the thoughts out of my head and changed into my uniform. The game was made before the meme. Actually, isn't that... When is We Are Number One? I think it's from the early 2000s. I mean, the meme, technically, yeah, it's before the meme, but... We're going back in time.
What is it? You look so cute!
Is she? Yeah, she's cute.
Really?
Really?
Heat crept up my neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, completely.
Your hair matches your uniform so well. Are pink and green complementing colors? Hold on, no, we gotta check out the color wheel. We gotta know what complementing colors are. So pink is probably gonna be in the red. Red's complementary color. I'm not gonna let May get away with lies. Remember Massimo's YouTube school way back when? I can't say that I do. Massimo. I don't... Nah. Green. Oh! It looks like May is not completely full of color. Or full of crap. Alright, I'll let you get away with it this time, May. Baka, 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 baka. Is this an anime dating game? Kind of. Well, actually, yes. Technically, yes. But it's with the, normal boots guys from YouTube. You know, PBG, Gerard, Pro Jared. Just all ones from normal boots. Well, Lioness, it was great having you be here for a while. So, see you later. Alright. Back to... Alright.
You look like a flower blooming straight out of the ground. I'm Flowey. Hi, I'm Hana.
Actually, Hana means flower, so literally, hi, I'm Flowey. Flowey the flower. Howdy. Water stung the back of my eyes, and I turned, starting to start packing my backpack. Why am I getting so worked about something as little as this? I must have gotten less sleep than I thought.
Is something wrong? No, nothing's wrong. I'm just happy.
How dumb was that? I started crying at the first sign of someone being nice to me. I took a deep breath to steady my nerves. Steady nerves? How about steady games? Am I right? So you can date EBG and JonTron. Yes, that is one of the things about this game. That's the only reason I'm playing this game. Okay. What an oddly menacing laugh. Thud! All the air left my lungs as if something like a horseshoe slammed against my back. You'll do just fine. Don't worry, this is gonna be awesome. Everything is awesome. I stiffly peered over my shoulder. That was you?
What?
Huh? Mai stood behind me, her hand raised. Somehow she had the strength of a bodybuilder. Nothing. I was just about to zip my bag up when I spotted the book that Satch gave me lying on my nightstand. The Princess Betrothed. He said that if I ever needed to be transported somewhere far away, I could take it with me. It was pretty good so far. Maybe it's smart to bring it along, just in case. I had no one to talk to during the class periods. Would I need it for my first day of class? I know that right here, this is a Satch thing. If you don't take it, you get locked out of Satch's mission. You know what? I'm going for the Pro Jared, so forget it. Leave it behind. I don't need it. Be sociable on the first day of class, right?
You ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Hey, stick with me and you'll be fine.
May opened the door, and together we stepped into the hallway, merging into a steady flow of chattering girls and fruit-flavored perfume.
Oh my.
Oh my! I did not know we lived on the same floor.
No way, really? That's awesome. Now we'll be able to catch up. Whatever happened between you and...
A river of girls shifted as we headed to the stars. Suddenly, I found myself surrounded by a bunch of people I didn't know.
Oh, wow, what a jerk he turned out to be.
My exclamations faded into a buzz of voices in the air.
Oh no.
What would I do if we got separated? Die. Anxiously, I searched the crowd of girls for May, but I couldn't find her. Everyone was dressed up in the same Asagao uniform. It was difficult to tell anyone apart. And being so short really didn't help in the situation. As we turned the last corner down the stairway, I saw a flash of a red hair a little ways in front of me.
May?
I reached between the two girls and tapped her on the shoulder.
No.
Huh? Oh,
Who? I yell. The girl's eyes flashed, almost like a jolt of electricity shot through them. The girl's got red eyes. Is she a vampire? Hey, you actually made it to the Human Gaming stream. Don't want to date Satch? I've already dated Satch. That's who I dated on my first run-through. Yeah, but welcome, Eric Caradus Johnson. She said nothing and turned away before I knew it. I stood outside the Primrose House, watching the flow of girls disperse across the campus. May was nowhere to be seen. I couldn't even hear her chirpy voice. Aw, man. I took a deep breath, biting my lip. This wasn't a big deal. I could go to class alone. But did I even know where the building was? I reached in my backpack and dragged out my class schedule. Homeroom. 206 Poppy Hall. Which one was Poppy Hall again? Weren't the classrooms on the other side of campus? I picked a direction and began to walk, trying to ignore the rising panic and the thought of arriving late on my first day of class. A third year where no one knew me. All the people staring. I didn't put Pro Jared in my Wednesday video. It was Space Hamster. How can you get this game? Oh, it's free. Type in Asagao Academy. I mean, they'll ask for a donation. I donated $5, but yeah, just type in Asagao Academy into Google, and it's the top one there. You'll be able to get it. I'm not gonna date John Tron, so I'm bacadus. This game can get extremely hot, Christian. Just allow yourself to become Hana. It's not gay because you're Hana. It's, you know, it's perfectly fine. You're just placing yourself in someone else's shoes. Oh, hey, PML is here. Is she? I mean, she was. I'm assuming she left. YouTubers usually don't stay in streams for too long because streams are huge time commitments. And YouTubers got things to do. Oh, hey, there she is. Look at me in my big mouth lying.
Hey.
Hey, that was Jim Jam. Hey, you okay? You look a little lost. Someone called out to me and I turned around, almost jumping for joy. When I froze, a Normal Boots jacket. He was from the Normal Boots Club. I could practically feel my tongue swelling in my mouth. If this was Normal Boots Club member, I had to make a good impression. He was one of the founders, right? Then he must be Jim Tran.
Yes. I'm new. I don't know where Poppy Hall is.
Huh. You freshman? No problem. My class is in Poppy Hall.
I'll walk you there.
Really?
Really? That would be wonderful. Thank you.
Was this really happening? He began to walk towards a large brick building in an enthusiastic manner, pumping his arms up and down like he was in some sort of show tune. I fell in to step behind him. Keep your knees up, stepping time. I didn't notice when May pointed him out to me yesterday, but Jontron had big brown eyes and a warm-looking face. Does that mean that he's hot? Or only warm? He's not even hot. Wow. He was basically just a human puppy. I glanced up at him from the corner of my eye. A bird! A bird on his shoulder! Birds always made me uncomfortable, something about the ease with which they could just poke out someone's eyes. Jacques probably taken out a couple eyes himself. Is something wrong? Why'd you stop?
No, nothing's wrong.
He followed my gaze to the bird on his shoulder. Oh, that's Jacques! Isn't he cute? Nice to meet you.
It spoke.
Yeah. He put a hand to his shoulder. Jacques jumped into his palm.
Rebel scum.
Jacques is a robot bird, see?
Hello.
Jacques' eyes gleamed a dangerous red when he spoke, but nothing else was normal about that bird. Oh yeah, see? His eyes actually do glow red. Nice touch. In fact, if I had known better, I would have said that the red in his eyes was painted on. That's amazing. Jacques twitched his head aside, examining me in return. The more he looked at me, the less afraid I was. What are you looking at?
What?
What? What are you looking at, punk? You wanna go? Oh yeah, Jacques can be a little sassy. Never stopped you before. Team PBG? What? But you can be on Team Pro Jared! PBG, PML. Okay, I see where you're coming from. Who are you calling sassy? I'm not the sassy one. I don't forget to feed you. Jacques, that was one time! I was alone and starving in the frozen tundra of this empty world, loveless, afraid. Ignore him. I've been bringing him with me to the drama club now, and he's taken it a little too well to it. Oh, I see how it is. Shut me out like you had nothing to add to the conversation. Jacques retook his place on John's shoulder, this time facing away from us, as if it were miffed. We resumed our walk towards Poppy Hall. I'm JonTron, by the way. Call me John.
Hannah, nice to meet you.
Hannah? That's a cute name.
What? Why, thank you.
So how long have you had Jacques? Since middle school. We've been together for 4 years now. Ain't that right? Pro Jared is married. I don't think his Haiti had anything to do with the game. I know that PBG's wife did art assets for this game. I'm not listening. Yeah, well, I loved him to death. I don't know what I'd do without him. It seems like my life would be a lot easier without him, but who am I to say? We arrived at the brick building. A white sign surrounded by poppies declared it to be, unsurprisingly, Poppy Hall! Which room are you in?
Room 206.
Really?
Seriously?
Yeah.
That's my homeroom. We're in the same class. John laughed and clapped me on the shoulder. Wonderful. I guess I'll be seeing more of you then, right?
Yeah.
Together we entered Poppy Hall. Poppy Hall is lined with fluorescent lights and the Asagao blue lockers. The lack of students milling around on the hallway indicated that we were a bit late. We ran up the stairs and made it to the classroom just as the bell rang. My heart caught in my throat. Thankfully, the teacher hadn't come in yet. Instead, students clumped into tight pods and milled around the classroom.
catching up on vacation news.
Thank you so much for showing me the class, John.
See you later.
No problem, I'll see you around. He waved and disappeared into a wriggling mass of students. I glanced throughout the room for an empty seat. Why is this in a school? You'd rather have it be in a happier place, like a morgue or a POW camp. You could always watch PML's live streams. Yeah, she does Danganronpa. I cannot pronounce that word. Danganronpa. Danganronpa. There we go. Danganronpa. Glanced around the rooms, looking for an empty seat. Hannah! May peeled herself out from between a cuddling crowd.
Was that JonTron? Were you just talking to JonTron?
Yeah. May's eyes widened. I couldn't help but feel a little smug.
I realized I didn't know the way to class, and after I got separated from you, and he offered to walk me.
May emitted a high-pressured squeal.
JonTron walked you to class. Oh my gosh, you have to tell me everything.
Okay. He walked me to class.
I saved you a seat.
I slid in and took my backpack off, hooking it on the side of my desk. I was just a little bit worried. The books inside weren't too heavy for the bag to handle, but so it held up well.
Sorry we got separated, by the way. It can get a little chaotic sometimes. So tell me, what happened? What did he say? What did he smell like? Does he have peach fuzz? Is it rough?
Wait, what?
These are very important questions I'm asking you. You need to answer them. Was his hair super silky, or did it have roughness of a dog's coat?
I didn't touch him. Before we could answer, the door to the front room slid open. A tall woman strolled in. The class went quiet and obediently slid into their seats. My heart beat furiously, blood rushing through my ears.
Class?
Miss Shizuka!
Good morning, class. I'm not sitting next to the window, though. The window's all the way over there. I assume I'm sitting here-ish? The teacher's melodious voice swept through the room, calming the buzzing of the high students back from the break. I'm sorry, I did not have to do a melodious voice. My shoulders relaxed, and my fear ebbed away. I'm your teacher, Shizuka Wakahushiria. You may call me Miss Shizuka. The emphasis she placed on the word led me to believe that calling her Mrs. wasn't a mistake that she would take lightly. Some of you might have come to notice that we have a new student this semester. A hail of murmurs passed through the class. Some of the people glanced at me. Nope, there was fear again. Would you like to come up and introduce yourself? I nodded and stood up slowly and walked to the front of the room, counting my steps to make sure I wouldn't fall. I faced the class, took a deep breath to introduce myself, and noticed a familiar face in the crowd. Jim Tran, PPG, and Shan. There was John with the other two boys wearing Normal Boots Club jackets. One of the boys was the tallest, staring at me, the barest of frowns on his face. Something about him seemed really familiar. Wait, he was PBG, wasn't he? The other founder of the Normal Boots Club. Suddenly, all his strength left my knees. What should I do? Why was he frowning? Was it possible that I already made a bad impression on him? You had to be kidding me. He didn't like me. What did that mean about everyone else? Wouldn't they follow his lead? I swallowed. The faces of the class began to congeal, forming one giant blob. You moved from Amaratsu, right? I nodded and swallowed again.
And then, like a beacon of light, I noticed Mai smiling and giving me the thumbs up. That's right. What would May do in this situation?
Yes, I've just moved here.
Hi!
My name
I
is
moved here. My name is Hana Mizuno. I transferred from America to public high school.
I'm really excited.
F you, Shane.
I hope you'll all take
Anytime you see Shane, I thought that was embedded on you from oh gosh, what's that thing called? Stardew Valley, but apparently it probably started here and just finally manifested there. I bowed my head to the class and they clapped politely. When I looked up, PBG wasn't frowning, but he still seemed oddly confused. Maybe he always looked like that. Thank you. You may be seated. I returned to my seat, having a small sigh. The hardest part of the day was over. Shizuka began to talk about the standard procedure for the semester, the rules for the class, when homework was due, that sort of thing. You hate this, Shane, too? Well, I mean... Yeah. It is. That's just tis the nature of dating sims. It was all very similar to my old school, but I spaced out in spite of myself, and a brief flicker of movement caught my eye. PBG again. I glanced at him. His head snapped back to the blackboard. What was his problem? Class continued on like that until finally the bell rang. It was time for lunch. Mai stretched her arms over her head and yawned. Man, I hate the first day of class. It's always so boring. Oh, dang. Christian country boy, I think I found your girl. You need answers? I don't really see a question. Okay, well, weren't you looking forward to it this morning? Something about exciting things happening? Well, yeah, but you already did. You met JonTron, didn't you? Now I've got nothing left to look forward to. She sighed. And I was hoping to see Jared before class 2. She slouched and fell across the front of my desk. It seemed like this would be happening a lot. Is Jared really that hot? Is that what kind of stupid A question is that, Hana? May's head snapped back up, her eyes flashing.
The frick did you just say?
If you stare directly at him for too long, your nose will melt off. I've seen it happen. Remember Voldemort? Yeah, he stared at him for too long. What? Anyway, let's head to lunch. I'm super hungry. Oh. I looked at my backpack. It held up well throughout class. I worried that if I didn't take some of my stuff out now, it might do some permanent damage to it. I couldn't exactly afford to buy a new backpack. I need to put something in my locker first. Okay, I haven't done the Jared route, but I'm assuming on the Jared route, May cries a lot more, right? That sounds like the best route right there.
Oh, no.
What if we don't go now? They'll run out of sesame seed buns.
See, look at this. This is right here is great. Anytime you can hear,
Oh, no.
that's a good game.
Oh. That's okay. I'll just go ahead. Come find me, okay? All right.
I was so lucky to have someone like her as my roommate. Quick as I could, I went to my locker and emptied out some of the textbooks I didn't need. I smiled to myself. My introduction went well. Good thing May was there to give me the little boost of confidence I needed, especially with PBG staring at me like that. Maybe I could ask her what's up with him when I met her at the cafeteria. It might just be the way he was. Cheered, I headed for the cafeteria. I carried my melon bread through the main field of people, searching for the now familiar sight of May's red hair.
Where is she?
I couldn't see her anywhere, and there were almost no empty seats. All around me, students circled each other, laughing and joking, sharing bites of food, and splitting the cost for sodas. Suddenly, I felt very obvious.
And very alone.
Isn't there anywhere I can sit?
Just then, I spotted a table at the front of the room. A lone boy sat at it, stabbing at his spaghetti with the vigor of a Roman general. He was having a hard time with it. Is this brutal moose? I moved closer to him, working up the courage to ask to sit with him. Well, no wonder he was eating his spaghetti with a spoon. Wait a second. This guy was in my class, wasn't he? I saw him this morning at the front of the room. And he was wearing a jacket, just like the Normal Boots Clubs.
But different.
A golden... Yeah, okay. A golden gray jacket, an 8-bit block on the front of it. Was he a member of another club? Or maybe he was friends with them?
Oh, hey, what?
Hannah!
Hannah? Oh, my!
May appeared between me and the boy, who glanced up at us for a second, returning to his spaghetti.
Thank goodness I found you. I saved the table for you in the back.
Man, I was just about to get Brutal Moose's number! May, thanks a bunch! I looked at the boy and then back to Mai. Come on! She grabbed my shoulder forcefully and pushed me to the back of the room.
Hey, what's wrong?
Well...
You are so lucky I got here when I did. That kid is Brutal Moose. His real name is Ian. He's from the Hidden Block Club.
The Hidden Block Club? Yeah, the rival club of the Normal Boots. He's really weird. I mean... She looked around to make sure no one was listening, but we were completely alone in our little corner of the cafeteria.
He speaks in Comic Sans.
No! Whoa.
Yeah, it'd be better to stay away from him, especially since you've already gotten to know some of the Normal Boots guys. What are you talking about? I only just met John today. Haha, you're right. And the way PBG was staring at you, he totally likes you. Really? Is that what you thought that was? Either Mai was blind or had a serious case of wishful thinking. Oh, totally. It was so cute. Just like my favorite manga. You meet in high school, you fall in love, and then you go off and fight aliens together. I don't think that's gonna happen. Have some faith in yourself. That's totally what's happening. So now that you're good in with PBG, can you introduce me to Jared? Oh, was that what she was getting at? You're just like Mimi, trying to get in with Jared through me. Hey, Mai! Hey, Mai! A hot flash of doubt seized me. Was it possible that May only liked me because she thought I knew the Normal Boots guys? That couldn't be the case, though. She was so nice. Still, looking at her shining and eager face, I couldn't talk myself out of the idea. I actually thought PBG didn't like me. Oh, we got a new song going here.
Well...
He was glaring at me. Man, you just don't understand it. It's a love triangle. A love triangle. Wait, a triangle now? I can see it. Stars practically erupted from her eyes. PBG, I can't. But oh no, I love you. But my maidenhood. Where are you going with this? I slammed my fork on the table, and May looked pleased with herself. Okay, I'm just kidding. You're really cute when you blush. You almost match your hair. She's not blushing. That's not fair at all.
I beg to differ.
Still.
I searched my mind, eager to change the subject.
That was an impressive scenario.
Greg was gonna be in the game and then he got.
What?
I mean, come on, even Jacques is in the game. Yes, I believe that is a joke that May just made. What? No, it wasn't. I just made it up on the spot. May laughed nervously. Oh, so that girl who was talking to me when we got separated. Mai told the story of her past friendship with this girl. They were like eternal arch nemeses. Apparently, they had some bad blood. Oh, well, I guess that your kidneys aren't doing their jobs of filtering the blood. I nodded, choosing to make the time to relax. Before I knew it, we were finished eating. We got up, tossed our trays together, and as I headed towards the door, though Mai hesitated.
Hey, I forgot something back at the dorm. Oh, need help? No, I'm totally okay. I'm just gonna go get it. I'll see you later, though, right?
See you later.
Okay, see you in class.
I waved, and May sprinted off in the direction of the dorms. Alone again, I crossed my arms and headed back to Poppy Hall. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't watch Completionist much until Greg left. Then I watched some of the episodes that Greg was in, but yeah, it's certainly something different. Welcome back, Tacticianaria, and happy late birthday! Large groups of 7 or 8 people laying out in the sun, playing catch and eating lunch on the lawn. It looked like fun to have so many friends like that. I smiled. Maybe this new school really was better than my last. Without students inside, Poppy Hall looked like an abandoned hospital. Well, there you go, Christian country boy. It's an abandoned hospital. My footsteps echoed as I climbed the stairs to the 4th floor. There was nothing to do. I didn't even have a book to read. Yeah, my bad. I sighed. I should have brought it when I had the chance. I stepped in the classroom and saw a flash of movement by the window. A boy sat on the windowsill and jerked up when I came in. Shane. He's silhouetted by the afternoon sunshine, so I couldn't quite tell who he was.
Hello, I'm sorry, did I bother you?
The boy stood and shook his head, and then crossed to a desk up to the opposite side of the room. As he passed, I was able to see him clearly. Another Normal Boots jacket. This guy, he was Shane from the Normal Boots Club. How on earth did this keep happening to me? There was a part with Youngtown? Oh wait, yeah, it still has the hidden boot guys. Shane sat down at his desk and fidgeted with his hands a little, and turned to look at me. When's the sequel? When's Asagao Academy Normal Boots Club? Or no, it's already Normal Boots Club. Hidden Block Club. You're the new girl. I nodded.
My name's Hannah. Nice to meet you.
He nodded. Shame. Ain't it a shame? Silence filled the space between us. Panic built up inside of me. This was my chance to get in with the Normal Boots Club, and I was blowing it. I sat down at my desk, fiddling with my hands. There was nothing for it. I had to make conversation. Shane looked at me, unsmiling.
You're part of the Normal Boots Club?
Yes, I am. Why? He spoke as if it were a challenge, almost glaring at me.
I just saw your jacket, so...
I trailed off.
The jackets are really cool.
Okay.
Yeah, they are. Silence again. Wait, PML! Say your catchphrase again. It's perfect for right now. Oh, there it is. I didn't even have to... As soon as I asked for it, it looks like you've already said the thing. So, good. I had to do something. Who knew when another chance like this would come? But Shane didn't seem friendly. In fact, he seemed quite suspicious. Surely he wasn't on to me already. Maybe it was better not to risk it? Yeah, don't talk to Shane. I chewed my lip and stared at my desk, trying not to think of what a loser I must have looked like. Shane's still staring at me, hot on the side of my face.
He wasn't looking away. Finally, I turned at him, hoping to break the silence. The classroom door swept open and a group of girls entered the classroom. Shane looked away. The atmosphere was broken. I breathed a heavy sigh of relief. What was up with these normal boots guys anyways? John was really nice when I spoke to him. PBG and Shane seemed to hate me. They weren't anything but normal. I waited for May to come to class, wanting desperately to tell her what happened. But then the doorbell rang and Miss Shizuku started teaching. May still hadn't come. Class came and went. The bell rang, and I was alone. PBG stared at me for the entirety of the class periods, his face growing more and more menacing by the minute. How his face wasn't stuck in a perma-frown, I would never know. Shane and John didn't bother talking to me after they left the classroom, and other students paired up around me. Hey, Mimi, would you like to engage in a casual discourse this evening? Gross. Yeah, of course. But why are you talking like that? Ellipses. I gathered up my things and headed to the dorm. With a sigh, I unlocked my door and went to my dorm room. As I opened the door, I heard... Hannah! Wait, what? May laid down on a heap on the floor. I'm so glad you're back. She wrapped her arms around my head, nuzzling. Wait, isn't she on the ground? May and I. Okay, so she pulled me to the ground. Okay, she nuzzled me. What are you doing? Come, look. She's nuzzling. Didn't you even hear your own internal thoughts? Come, look. She got off and helped me to my feet. Without May's face filling my vision, I saw something had changed. Oh my goodness! The dorm room looked nothing like it had before. Oh, is there more of a red tint? The posters and fairy lights were still up, but now the window had a light pink curtains and a warm haze around the room. A brand new white carpet was on the floor. Pillows were piled high on a mountain on the top bunk of the bed. Even our chairs had been replaced with new, cushy leather ones. What happened here? Sorry I didn't tell you, but I wanted to surprise you. I thought this would come in yesterday, but it got delayed by a day. I wanted to set up a big surprise. I'm still not done yet. She gestured at some small potted plants arranged in neat rows on her desk. Want to help? Do I ever? We finished setting up the room, switching a few objects here, and in the order to facilitate the feng shui, which May told me was excruciatingly important. Gotta get the feng shui! She especially wanted to make sure her room was filled with reds and pinks, and coupled with items, though for what purpose I wasn't sure. We collapsed with heavy sighs on the floor, and then heaved great big... It's not even the end of the day. I'm so tired. Me too. Wait. She shot up suddenly with a jolt. We should get some ice cream.
Really?
Ice cream? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, something to celebrate being roommates. The ice cream here on campus is genuinely good, I promise.
I don't know.
I don't know. And I'm paying. Well, if that's the case, you made me an offer I could not refuse. Either your brains or the ice cream will be in my stomach by the end of the day. Sweet, let's go. Ice cream!
The school shop was on the side of the building off the cafeteria, packed with instant noodles, giant bottles of sodas. Students wandered the aimlessly, clearly here to spend more time than money. Mabe hired the cashier, and we grabbed our ice cream cones. Mine covered entirely in sprinkles.
Whoa, this is delicious.
Yeah!
Isn't it? We're lucky to have such good food on campus. This place would be awful if we didn't. I nodded, and I was about to respond when I noticed a commotion outside.
Ooh, let's see what's going on.
May grabbed my arm and dragged me outside. 3 boys were wearing normal boots jackets and shouting at each other, each of their faces turning purple. This again?
What are you talking about?
Mamma mia!
I am clearly the one who possesses the proper masculine form.
Yeah, right. I'm taller than you, and more attractive to boot.
Normal boot?
Come on, guys.
Can you not see these muscles? Nick pulled back the sleeve of his jacket and flexed his arm. These guys are always going on about weird stuff like this. They're very energetic. Oh yeah? Yeah! Josh got onto the downward-facing dog yoga pose and grinned. Look at this butt! Just look at this! What I don't understand is why they don't just ask Jared. Oh yeah! Paul kneeled to the ground and then took off at a sprint, heading straight for us.
Yeah!
Check this out! He sprang in the air and in a graceful ballerina leap, spinning through the sky, and finally came straight for me! Dead! When I opened my eyes, I was sprawled flat on the ground, covered in dirt. Something cold and wet oozed onto the top of my blouse.
Hana, are you okay?
I sat up. Chunks of ice cream fell from my blouse to my skirt. What happened? You murdered someone, you fool!
My uniform. It's ruined.
For a few seconds, silence. Then snickers rippled around me like the whining of cicadas. My throat closed. Water stinged my eyes. Not this again. I stood up and prepared to walk away with my dignity when the entirety of the Normal Boots clubs suddenly appeared in front of my face.
What's up?
What happened here? Seriously? Tears slid down my face. No, not here. I didn't want to cry in front of them.
Hey.
Hannah, are you alright? I'm going home.
Hana.
Wait, Hannah. It's fine. I just want to be alone for now. It took all my will not to run back to the dorm. I immediately changed into my pajamas and climbed into bed, reaching for my stuffed rabbit. What am I gonna do? This ends up just like last time. Mr. Bunny stared at me with his big, lifeless, soulless eyes. Arya, you just you don't have to put them in the timeout, but if you give them if you delete their comments, that can be the first warning. It's like, well, dang, my free speech is being impeded on. Then timeouts, and if they come back and still start feeling a little frisky, you send them to the Shadow Realm. The door opened with a soft click.
Hana.
Hannah, are you okay? I rolled over in bed to face the wall, pretending to be asleep. May stood in the center of the room for a while, looking at me. She finally sat down at her desk and began to work on something. The sound of her pencil scratching against the paper stilled my mind. I don't know how many hours passed, but eventually, I fell asleep. Wait, are they insulting ice cream? I gotta take it back. Ban them. Ban them forever! I woke up to my alarm beeping, feeling only the dread of the hours to come. After the nightmare that was the ice cream incident yesterday, I never wanted to take another step outside my room. I curled up inside of my blankets as my alarm went off. It was only the second day of school, and I felt the same as I did every morning at home. May, of course, was already up, and I could hear her hair straightening clap shut every few seconds from across the room. I felt bad about letting my alarm go off for so long, so I slid my head out from under the covers to switch it off. Hana! Hana, get up, sleepyhead! I know you're awake. I didn't even have time to poke out my head before her body slammed in the edge of my mattress, bouncing me up. She jumped from almost halfway across the room. How can you jump onto the bed with the bunk? I've tried jumping onto bottom bunks before. It don't work. You can't hide from me, Mai. Sorry. Wait, you can't hide from me, Mai?
Morning.
You can't hide from Mai.
Morning.
Sorry. I was breathless, and I paused to calm my heart before speaking again. Are you worried about what happened yesterday? No one cares about it, Hana. I almost forgot myself. She's a squid now? She's a kid now. She's a squid, she's a kid, she's a squid, she's a kid, she's a squid now. She must have seen on my face. She brought an arm around my shoulders and pulled me closer to her, crushing my trachea. For real though, we're gonna get to class and no one's even gonna mention that you made a huge fool of yourself. I made a huge fool of myself! It was that fool Paul who slammed my ice cream into me. You could have put that better. Yeah. I'm kidding. It might have been a big scene, but it totally wasn't your fault. It was Paul, alright? When you jump, you have to calculate your trajectory. Like I did just now. It's true. He could learn a lot from a master like me. Get dressed and cheer up. I could bottle up your gloom and sell it to a wizard. And what if he used it for evil? Her smile is wide enough to bridge a gap between continents. The beginnings of tears pricked against the back of my eyes. But this time, they were for a different reason. I opened up my closet and tried to avoid looking like a sad lump of clothing inside and slithered with my dried up ice cream. I only had 2 uniforms, which cost my dad an entire month's salary. If I wasn't able to get the stain out of this uniform, what would I do? Sighing, I took my second uniform off its hanger and slipped it on with Mai waiting impatiently for me. Ready to go? I guess so.
Yeah.
Good! Just as Mai said, no one paid any special attention to me. Well, there were a few odd looks in here, but nothing nearly as bad as what I was expecting. The lecture went on, and my anxiety for the most part faded. I took to staring out the window to avoid eye contact with a few boys who were out on the field playing soccer. Wait, was that PBG? I scooted closer, trying to get a better look. Hana! The sound of my name made to attention. If there's something more interesting outside than samurai death battles, please feel free to enlighten us. You came here to learn, not contemplate the scenery. Yes, Miss Shizuka, I'm sorry. She turned back to the chalkboard and continued her lecture as if nothing had happened. Hey, it's Youngtown! A few desks in front of me, a guy next to Brutal Moose turned around and gave me a flashy thumbs up. I made a face at him, cheery and sure what he expected me to do exactly. Then Ian turned around and socked him on the back of the head. The other guy mumbled something to him, probably apologizing. Ian's eyes slid to me for a brief second, and then he looked away. Were they looking at me because of what happened yesterday, or was there some other reason? I shook my head. There wasn't time for this. I had to work if I wanted to keep my scholarship. After pages and pages of notes on Japanese history, it was nearly time for lunch. Yes, hashtag sub to Youngtown, people. Yeah, there's only one rule in this stream, and it's stay woke.
Japanese history, it was nearly time for lunch. Okay, everyone. Everyone is free to go. The work tonight isn't so hard, so don't grumble. You should work together to complete it if you had a hard time. Also, you may be aware that the Flower Festival is coming up a week and a half. This news was met with a few cheers as everyone started to pack up. Since you have the day off for the festival, our first exam will be the day before. There are no cheers this time. Romance is wonderful. Believe me, I know. Miss Shizuka. But try not to let the festival distract you, okay? That is all. See you tomorrow. Miss Shizuka flashed a peace sign and as she walked out there. How long have we been going for? Almost 2 hours. Oh, wait, not Steam. What a weird teacher. Watch your language, Absol Knight. Ugh, that lecture was so boring. It had samurai death battles. Mai walked beside me, a tray in her hands. We were shuffling through the cafeteria, trying to find a seat. Didn't you say that yesterday? Probably, but it's true for today, too.
Oh, no.
Anna, help me! I'm gonna die of boredom! We have an assignment to keep us busy, mate.
What?
We already have work to do! How did you not hear that? I sighed dramatically and then leaned to a side and rested her head in the crook of my neck. I reached up to pat her on the head a few times, but she straightened before I could do it. Oh no! Hannah, Paul's walking over here! He's looking at you. Does he look angry to you? He's coming over here. What do you think he's gonna do? Kick you again? The same Paul who humiliated me last night strode towards me. I instinctively backed away, but he kept coming closer. Hey. I'm glad I found you. He didn't look angry at me. In fact, he was giving me an odd, lopsided smile. I don't look too lopsided. Going to sleep now? Have fun chasing Jared? Oh, I will, Purple Maple Leaf. Thanks for stopping into the stream for so long. That was cool of you. I wanted to make sure you weren't hurt or anything. You ran off before I could properly apologize. I looked down at my feet. It was embarrassing enough that I ran off crying like a little girl, but I know that I made them feel bad. Making them feel bad was even worse. At the same time, the image of my ruined uniform popped into my mind. I could tell that whether I couldn't tell whether I was more angry or embarrassed, or whether I was feeling something else entirely. Loathing? Unexpected loathing? I got you pretty bad, didn't I? I think I ballerinaed too hard. He tilted his head from side to side. It's a shame that you're not wearing the uniform from yesterday. I liked the pink splotches on you. It matched your hair. Oh, you son of a gun. My dumb, stupid hair. Everywhere I went, people made fun of it. I thought normal boot guys were different. And here he was trying to apologize. How could he say something like that to me? Not for the first time I thought of dyeing my hair a different color, but quickly dismissed it. Paul was waiting for my response. Mai gave me a quick nod as if warning me not to mess this up. I mustered up my best smile, hoping that it was at least somewhat convincing. It's okay. I'm fine. Don't worry about it. Anyway, I'm more than happy to pay for the dry cleaning. Josh and Nick and I feel really bad about everything. We never made a girl cry before. Well, not by physically injuring her, I guess. Thank you, but I was just gonna scrub it in the sink. Dad and I could never afford things like dry cleaners, so I was especially good at hand washing things. That's going to need more than just hot water and soap. Trust me. Tell you what, I have a friend who's a natural with this kind of stuff. I'll ask her to get the stain out for you. Just meet me later and bring your uniform, okay? I'll try not to kick you this time. Hannah should press charges. Without giving me time to say yes or no, he nodded and turned to leave. He spun around quickly. I flinched. Are you
And May, right? You and May, you, are you and Mai, right? Do you guys have a table? The cafeteria is pretty full right now. You can just sit us if you want, just for today. Woo! Bada bing! Awesome. Mission accomplished.
Yes, we'll go, right, Hana?
Technically, nah. Lunch. With the Normal Boots Club. Maybe. Maybe I really could become friends with them. And then no one would bother me again. Not about my hair or the ice cream incident. Right?
Yes, please.
Alright, follow me, ladies. He led us to the middle of the cafeteria where the Normal Boots Club sat, with a table all to itself. Hey, you found her! You're Hannah, right? I nodded, blushing as I took my seat at the edge of the table next to Paul. Mai forced herself between Jared and PBG. Her eyes were only a few sparkles away from forming huge hearts. Real subtle. So, Hana, we thought you were upset, and we were all worried. Are you feeling better? PBG looked at me, clearly concerned. My heart was beating against my chest. I wasn't sure if it was because I was nervous or the sad look on his face that made me want to give him a hug. Or maybe it was because I was about 2 inches away from Paul and only an arm's length from all the other guys. As I tried valiantly to open my mouth, whispers spread around the lunchroom.
Look at those girls over there. Who do they think they are? How come they get to sit there? I wish Senpai would notice me. Main characters get all the luck.
Suddenly my thoughts turned dark. Could it be that by getting close to these guys, I was setting myself up as a target instead of getting protection? My thoughts spun in my head. I was suffocating. PG was still looking at me, even more worried than before.
I'm fine. Thanks for your concern. Please don't feel bad. It was my fault for getting in your way. I'm sorry for causing such a scene. I could have controlled myself better.
I hung my head. I wasn't sure how to act around these guys, so I defaulted to extremely polite. My father would have been so proud if he were still with us.
Hana.
Hey, Hana, don't apologize. It was Paul's fault, right, Polly? Nick shoved Paul, who looks exasperated. I apologize as best I could, Nick. Give me a break. It was a real relief that PBG wasn't staring at me anymore. Almost no one else was paying attention to me or May any attention. Shane, however, was still shooting quick, suspicious glances. It was almost as if he didn't want me there, and I felt uncomfortable.
Hey, Hana.
How do you like this so far, Hana?
Good. How about you?
I mean, I like it here, thank you. Gerard smiled at me and then turned away. I picked at my food. These guys were all wrapped up in their own conversation, and Mai was busy preventing hyperventilation from being so close to Gerard.
I can feel his body heat.
Oh dear.
Hey,
You doing okay here, Hana? The smile turned to me. I know we can be overwhelming. You're fine, right?
Yeah, I am. Thank you.
I winced.
Sorry I can be a bit of a wallflower.
No need to apologize. I'm sure we've all been wallflowers before. Yeah, Alan, you did the catchphrase. See, Shay was being a jerk, and but PML is gone. But that reminds me, the Flower Festival. He turned to the group, addressing them all, as if on cue. They all suddenly turned to pay attention to him. Who are you guys taking this year? Right, the Flower Festival. Miss Shizuka mentioned it before.
What's the Flower Festival? No one explained it to me yet.
It's basically just a festival. Didn't you have those at your old school? We did have festivals at my old school, but they were basically just 40 kids grouped in one room, sharing snacks they brought from home. Well, we had something kind of like them, but I stopped going.
Really?
Why not? They're so fun! I didn't really want to answer. There was no way I could say, well, my friends turned on me, so when I went, people pretended like I didn't exist. But May was waiting for an answer, and everyone was looking at me. I'm just not into that stuff, I guess. Oh, well, maybe you'll like this one more. The Flower Festival happens all over Japan this time of year, but it's a big deal in Higbana. That's the town right next to Asagao. There's apparently some kind of myth about flowers that are somewhat important. Supposed to be the flower of Higbana was an old man who got lost in the mountains and almost died of thirst. The flower spirit came to him and offered him help in return for his vow to protect her home. He agreed, and she drained herself of all of her water so he could drink. The man founded Higbana to watch over the meadow in which he met the flower. In some versions of the myth, the man and the flower actually fell in love. It's a truly romantic festival. One may hope to find someone with which to make a vow of eternal love, just as the man and the spirit did, and live to protect the only one they love. Yes, Jared. Yes. Jared winked, and Mai swooned. So, during the festival, there were a lot of stalls set up, and you can go play games and eat food or go to the flower viewing. Then that night, the special meadow over by the temple where you can watch the flowers, there's a bonfire and dancing. It's a lot of fun. We look forward to it every year. Asagao sells paper flowers in a little booth to raise money for the school, too. There's usually a big volunteer drive beforehand for the people who are good at origami. You see, the thing about it's a flower festival, Hana actually means flower in Japanese. Oh no, Steady's leaving! I'm so sorry, Steady. I'm so sorry, Steady. Why? Can we even stream without Steady? Origami? I'm good at origami. Really? Shane is too. Maybe you should work together. Shane gave me a tight-lipped smile. Somehow I didn't think this would be happening. Hey, speaking of which, I saw you rejected 10 girls last festival season. He did? Or he did? I mean, that's nothing compared to me, naturally, but there were so many girls with broken heart. Even I couldn't mend them all. There we go, that's what I expected. You're still hung up on your English girlfriend? What? Shane flinched, visibly taken aback, then he shrugged. I don't talk about her anymore. Oh, Shane, I just want you to be happy, that's all. He wiped a fake tear. Shane grimaced. How great would it be if someone asked me, maybe even if it were one of the normal boot guys who did? No, I doubted that would ever happen. They would only let me sit there because they physically assaulted me. I sighed and cut my beefcake with a plastic knife. Speaking of beefcake! Oh, I'm going the wrong way. No. Back to the future. Oh, yeah, see? I sighed and cut my beefcake with a plastic knife. Cue the beefcake. So, any girls in mind, fellas? Beside me, May shifted nervously. Her eyes kept flickering from Jared to her french fries. She looked like a child who stole several cookies. Actually, she always does. Jared spread out his arms and raised an eyebrow. A god waiting for names to fall into his lap. I'm thinking of going solo this year, to be honest. Yeah, same. Man, you guys are boring. You aren't much better, man. I am on another level compared to you guys. I've already got my choice picked out. There was a quiet clattering next to me. May dropped her fork. Yep. I'm sure you have. And it'll probably be a new choice tomorrow. Jared flipped his hair with his hand. You know me so well. There's only so much time to make different girls' dreams come true. I must find the one that most in need. Me, I'm in need. So what? So it's not even about the one you like, huh? Nope. And you make fun of me. Just then the warning bell rang. It was time to head back to class. As everyone got up to toss their trays, I stood up and overwhelmed with a sudden burst of feeling, shouted,
Thank you for letting me and Mai eat lunch with you today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Hana. Thanks, guys. Hana was having a terrible day. You cheered her right up. See you guys again tomorrow, same time? May tilted her eyes twinkling. Good try. Nice try.
May, Paul said we could only sit with them today.
It's cool. Paul waved his hand in dismissal, almost dropping his tray with the other. The cafeteria is really crowded, and we have extra room at our table. Well played, May! People are too afraid to sit with us or something. Well, we did kick a girl yesterday. All three of them shrugged at the same times and left the room, moving in unison like a team of synchronized swimmers. Jared dumped his tray and jogged off to catch up with them. As soon as they were out of earshot, May took my hands in hers and jumped up and down.
You did it, Hana! We get to sit at the popular table. I've been trying to do this for 2 years, and you did it in 2 days!
Chet, maybe? Wait, what are you guys talking about me? Chet will never notice you now? She dropped our hands and made a jokingly, I think, angry face? Main characters have all the fun. How long have I been? 2 hours now? Keep clicking on Steam. You'll all be in pairs painting a diorama or a paper mache lamp. Anything postmodern, then write a paper design. Or don't, that works too. But remember, this project will count for 10% of your final grade, so work hard. Sound good? The only response was a bit of murmuring. Mrs. Shizuka often ended with, sound good? But she never cared about the answer. Alright, in the last few minutes of class, pick up your partners and discuss your project plan. We'll continue next time. In a matter of seconds, almost all the desks in the classroom connected. I looked at May, but a girl, Mimi Santos, already claimed her. May frowned at me as if to apologize. I scanned across the room for a few other people I met, already paired. Was I going to be the only one without a partner? Suddenly, the edge of my desk collided with mine. PBG! I guess we'll be working together. PBG sat in front of me with a cheeky grin. Didn't he sit on the other side of the room? How did he get his desk over here so quickly? Determination! I leaned over to look past him. He left a gaping hole and several class students in his wake. Seeing my gaze, he turned around. Oh, oops, sorry. He waved sheepishly. A boy glared at him. Well, for better or worse, we're partners.
I guess we are. Sorry.
Why are you apologizing? Wait, no, that's not what I meant at all. You're super smart. I'm sorry you're stuck with me.
You're pretty smart too, though, right?
Not that I knew. I guess. But I hate schoolwork, and I don't care about it at all. 10% of our grade depended on this project. Not that I'm going to make you do it all. I may not like school, but I'm not going to let someone else fail just because I think it sucks. I haven't done something like this since I was a kid, and that girl got so mad at me, I learned my lessons. He laughed, hitting the desk, crinkling his nose. I didn't see what was so funny, but from the way he was looking at me, it seemed like I should. I smiled hesitantly. He stopped laughing and frowned at me, the same way he did yesterday.
Do you like apple cider?
I'm sorry? Oh, pinball. What about magnolias? Yeah, I guess I do. You guess you do? But you... He sputtered, opening and closing his mouth like he was trying to eat the air. I searched his face, wanting to help him out. He was clearly struggling. PG leaned forward, looking into my eyes like he was deciphering a code. Really forward, so I could see the little brown flecks in his eyes forward. I don't see any flecks. Hana. Ellipses.
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 What? BBG moved away, his anxious look fading into a smile. Actually, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it? I was brainstorming a subject for our piece, but you didn't have any strong reactions to anything, so I guess we won't be doing any of those then. Like heck. Bell rang and a student started packing up.
Oh no, we didn't get to pick a project.
I'm sorry. That was my fault. I was messing around. But don't worry. I'll come up with something. Just leave it to me. He thumped his chest and got out of his chair, striking a pose and giving me a wide, reassuring smile. He shoveled his desk back to his side of the room, and I packed my things away. I didn't understand why, but maybe it was better to forget about this. He didn't seem to want to explain. I left the classroom, thinking to wait for Mai, but instead PBG trailed me into the hallway. He cleared his throat, and I turned to face him. I tilted my head back on an uncomfortable degree. He was tall, but he was scratching his neck, avoiding eye contact. So, you know you said you were fine at lunch, but are you sure you're okay? I mean, you were really freaked out yesterday, so... Heat crept its way into my face.
No, I'm alright.
As long as you're fine. If you need help with anything, you can rely on me. Especially since... The uncertainty crossed his face again. Well, never mind. Are you heading back to the dorms?
Yes.
Nice, me too. We can go
Together!
He pumped his fist in the air, and I glanced at the classroom. May was still talking to Mimi. They looked like they were about to rip the girl's head off. She wasn't going anywhere.
Sure, let's go.
But as soon as we turned to leave the hall, we were interrupted by someone wearing a yellow and gray jacket. Don't you dare ruin this to me. The rival club's jacket.
Oh, it's Space Hamster. Hammy.
My heart stopped, standing below us was a tall man with cheekbones like no tomorrow. I didn't recognize him from our class, which meant he must have been the one who was from one of the Hidden Block members. I didn't know whether I should scoff at him or ignore him, but before I could do anything, PBG held out his hand for a high five. Hey, Jeff! Jeff returned the gesture, and the two were locked into a conversation. PBG, you pumped about our soccer match? Yeah, I've been waiting for this day all summer. Are you busy? I'm trying to get the team together right now for last-minute practice. You in? I am so in. I have nothing to do for the rest of the day. Are my cleats still in your locker? Yep. Awesome, let's go then. No. Space Hamster, you ruined it for me. How could you, Jeff? Jeff. Sorry, I gotta go. See you in class tomorrow. I'll make sure to bring my thinking cap. He put on an invisible hat and gave me a thumbs up. Oh, wait. Do you want to come to our game? It's in a few weeks and the first one of the year. So it'd be cool if you came to watch us. Mostly me, because I'm the star player. Wow, thanks. I think I said of course last time, but look, I'm going for Jared. That's it, you know.
Sorry.
Oh, that's a bar. I can't. I can't. Of course.
Yeah.
But I'll still go for Jared anyway.
That sounds fun. I would love to come.
Woo! Thanks. That really means a lot to us. Usually the first game doesn't conjure a big crowd.
Can I bring May?
She might have planned to go on anyways, but she was always including me in things. I wanted to do the same for her.
Yeah!
Totally, bring as many people as you want. Fill up the stands. He left with Jeff, and I headed back to the dorms. May usually walked with me. It felt weird to be alone, and suddenly I realized I would feel even weirder to be in the dorm alone. Not knowing what else to do, I headed for the library. Might as well get started on some homework. I stayed in the library much longer than I anticipated. Head low over a small sheet of paper. What? I can't even read this. Head low over a small sheet of project ideas and a thick book. Well, I know which route I'm gonna do. I'm going for the Pro Jared route, but I haven't officially chosen one. You don't get to do that until chapter 2? I don't know. All hail Jared! The time I thought about leaving, panic seized me. The truth was, I still don't know my way around the academy. May had always been there to guide me there, and I was more focused on the people around me than the places. And as the students trickled past, laughing and heading off, to do, no doubt, have tons of fun, I fiddled with my pencil. Ellipses. I would have to leave eventually, though. Hesitantly, I closed my notebook and stood.
Hey, Hana!
It's Gerard! Hey, Hana! How are you? I whirled around. Gerard was walking past me, a thick book in one hand.
Gerard! Hi, I'm good, thank you.
I laughed weakly and found myself wringing my hands together. Yeah? He clearly didn't believe a word I was saying.
I sighed. I'm a bit scared to leave. I know that sounds pathetic, but I don't really know my way around this place, so...
You look a bit like a lost otter. Otter, is that a normal thing to compare people to? You were gone for like 2 hours. You think I'd get to the festival? Well, I mean, if I was just clicking through. A lost otter. See, I'm not the only one who thinks that's weird. But hey, I haven't really gotten a chance to talk to you until now. I've been wanting to ask you, are you settling in all right? I know that transfer students don't really get introduced to the school the same way freshmen do. Are your classes okay? How's your homework? Do you like the food? Getting along with May? I stuttered, unsure of which question to answer first. Everything's fine. May's great. She showed me around the campus recently. It was really nice of her, but she wasn't very thorough. A grin slowly spread across Gerard's face as if he were unwrapping a present. I can show you around if you like. I used to give tours to incoming students. If you're new, you really should get a tour. Sign me the heck up. I mean, I'm going for the Jared route, but I guess we can dip into the Gerard route a little bit. Gerard's eyes lit up. The mere mention of a tour. I felt bad for turning him down.
All right!
Great. We can start at the boys' dorm. I need to put my books away. Have I gotten late? No, I have not, Christian country boy. I don't even think that happens in the game. I don't even know if you get a kiss. He laughed and headed out of the library. I fell into step along. Actually, no, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this guy down. No thanks. Oh, sure. That's okay.
Sorry, maybe someone in the rent time. I'll find my way eventually.
No problem. See you around. As it was kind of him to offer, I felt pathetic asking for help. I didn't want to take away his valuable time. Really, I should have known better by now. I don't need to rely on strangers. People are so unreliable in any case. I wandered around the campus for an hour, lost in the art section for a good 30 minutes, but eventually, I found my way back to the dorm room. I collapsed onto my bed with a heavy sigh that even May figured was best to leave me alone. Hannah friend zone counter 2? Yeah, yep, that's pretty accurate. Curse you. Jeez, I just turned the entire chat against me.
She scribbled frantically away on her desk, and I fell asleep to the sound of her pencil. Oh! Here it comes! Here comes the most important choice in the game! May and I arrived at Poppy Hall the next morning, and it immediately became clear something had changed. Posters, drenched in a nausea-inducing neon colors, were plastered in the lockers. Several students gathered around to take a look. See, I wanted Jared my first time, but I didn't think that his fashion show was more important than democracy, so I didn't. I understand that I can be nice to the people, but I'm only looking for one people in particular, so, Is that Jared? Mai didn't respond. I looked at her. The expression on her face told me that her mind wandered somewhere that would have made a call girl blush. Mai, you're drooling. There seemed to be a jolt out of her fantasy. She lifted her sleeve to wipe away the drivel on her chin. I am not. What are these posters for? Well, last year Jared put on a fashion show. It looks like he's doing it again this year. I didn't know that Jared was into fashion. May shrugged. He's not. I waited for some type of clarification.
So cute.
One time in biology, I saw him take his sweater off it, and his shirt kind of got stuck to it, and pulled. And I swear I saw he had like 20 abs. I waited in vain.
Good morning.
Hello, ladies. I was it's Jared. May whipped around, and there stood Jared in all of his glittering magnificence. His magnificent glory. May's face turned a blushing pink. The most beautiful guy in school. I see you're admiring my totally sweet posters. Yeah, they're really something, Jared. I like your abs. With a sudden soul-crushing realization of what she said, her expression turned into a mixture of horror and disgust. Jared was unfazed.
Hana?
Thanks, but Hana, it's actually you I wanted to speak to. Oh my gosh, 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 oh my gosh. Why would he want to talk to me? Oh, yeah, okay, what's up? Jared looked expectantly at Mai. Get lost. Go. Move. Realizing she was in trouble, I nudged her with my elbow as subtly as...
Hey.
Good. May, would you go get me a soda? I'm really thirsty. Without a word, May scuttled away. Jared turned back to me, a cool glint in his eye. He seemed so used to the effect of the Edelin women. I wanted to talk to you about the fashion show, actually. You're new here and all, so you probably don't know, but every year I like to put on a little fashion show to showcase my modeling skills. Wait, what? You know, just make sure people don't forget what I'm capable of. He reached to his pocket, pulled out a stack of glossy photos, and thrust them into my hands. I stared down at them in awe. the famous chinless face. Oh, I get a better look at this one. Yeah. I flipped through them, starting to notice a pattern. As you can tell, my beauty is something that cannot go to waste. I like to hold a fashion show here at Asagao Academy to ensure that everyone gets their yearly dose of Pro Jared. I flipped to the last photo. Heat shot up my neck and into my ears. Surely this was some kind of joke. I shoved this stack of photos back at him, wiping my sweaty palms against my skirt. What does this have to do with me? Ah, that might have been a touch rude. Jared, as smooth as ever, simply smiled. I think you might have potential, Hana. He suddenly leaned in close to me, so close in fact that I could smell his cologne. A musky, sweet aroma of earthly sense and ham! Potential? For what exactly? As Jared shifted his mouth, so close to my ear I could feel its heat. For greatness. He reached into his shirt pocket and retrieved a small slip of paper with quivering hands. I accepted it.
All right.
My card. My number's on the bottom. If you're ever interested, I could teach you a thing or two about modeling. Jared was gone. Feeling quite dizzy, I headed for class. The business card strangled to death in my white-knuckled hand. All right, we've been going for a while. That was a good spot. I don't know. I might do more next week. Who knows? All right. Catch you all guys on the flippity flop. Actually, probably the Discord or something.